can't even get to cross.
This is a GOHO how-to video specifically for Town Hall 8. So what is GOHO? GOHO is a war attack with a golem-led kill squad followed up by hogs to clean up the back end defenses. So GOHO, Golem Hog. Why is GOHO so good? GOHO is so good simply because there is not a Town Hall 8 base design that can stop this attack. Now you may need a second attack, a cleanup attack, whatever you want to call it, to achieve 3 stars, but you can do it. There simply just aren't enough defenses to stop this attack. So what troop composition do you need with your GOHO? How many golems, how many wizards, how many hogs? The number of golems you need is going to be how many golems do you need to get that kill squad in, to provide tanking for that kill squad to get into the core of the base and do a little bit of damage. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Now whether that's 1 golem or 3 golems, that will depend on the layout. But that's your answer on how many golems you need, and that's what you start with. That should be your first question. How many golems do I need? So how many wizards do you need? You need enough wizards to create a funnel to get your kill squad to go to the core of the base. What's a funnel? We can cover that in another video, but it's essentially taking out structures around your selected entry point into a base so that when you deploy your troops, all of your troops will go to the core of the base instead of walking around the sides of the base. That's what funneling is. So to get back to my initial question, how many wizards do you need? You need enough to create a wide funnel, and then you've got to ask yourself, well, how wide should your funnel be? Well, your funnel should be wide enough so that once those initial structures are destroyed by your wizards, when you go to deploy your king, the next closest structure to your king should be in the direction of the core of the base. Okay, that structure should be inside the base, not outside. If it's outside, when you put your king down, he's going to go outside and take a walk. So that's how wide your funnel needs to be. So again, getting back to how many wizards do you need? You need enough wizards to create a wide enough funnel so that when you deploy your king goes to the core of the base. So that determines how many hogs you have left. Once you've answered how many golems do I need and how many wizards I need, then however much troop space you have left, that's how many hogs you're going to have. Now you also need enough wall breakers to get your kill squad into the core of the base. Typically you're going to need anywhere from 6 to even 10 to 12 wall breakers. It really just depends on the base layout. I would also suggest taking 2 additional wall breakers to account for any wall breaker fails, because you are going to have fails. And if you have a fail, that's going to kill your raid immediately, and you don't want that to happen, obviously. You also need 3 heals and 2 poison spells. So that's how many troops and spells you need when you're trying to figure out what your troop composition is to pull off your GOHO attack. When you're scouting a base, what you want to do is look for double giant bomb locations. So what's a double giant bomb location? A double giant bomb location is a 4x2 empty space in the base design. Now typically this is going to be in between defenses. If the defender is intelligent, he's definitely going to put it in between the defenses. The reason for that is hogs path from defense to defense, just like giants. They ignore all other structures. They go from defense to defense. So that's why when you're designing a base, or when you're scouting a base in this case, you want to identify those locations, and that's where the defenders are typically going to put those bombs. So you want to identify any potential double giant bomb locations in the base. Then you want to select an entry point to trip up those double giant bomb locations, or just one, whichever one you have selected that you think the bombs are there. You want your kill squad to be able to enter on a part of the base so that they will then trip over that double giant bomb location. If your golem trips over that double giant bomb location, no big deal. Your golem can eat up the damage there with no problem. What you don't want to have happen is your hogs to run into a double giant bomb location, and then they all go boom, they all die. So when you scout the base, find that double giant bomb location. That's going to determine your entry point. So find your entry point, make sure you can get to that double giant bomb location from that entry point, and then from there you get to the core of the base. So how do we deploy troops? Okay, once we've scouted the base, once we figured out our entry point, how do we then go about the attack? On a GOHO attack, you've also got to lure the CC troops and kill them. So you want to bring 2 poison spells. And I believe at Town Hall 8, if you deploy your poison spells correctly over any CC troop, I think even a max P.E.K.K.A., the poison spells should kill that max P.E.K.K.A. The poison spells do not stack. So you put the first one down, let it go through its entire effects, then drop the next poison spell. Do not drop poison spell after poison spell, because again, they do not stack. You'll just be wasting the second one. You want to already have in your mind before the attack starts where you're going to drop your golem or golems, where you're going to drop your wizards, and where you're going to drop your wall breakers. All 3 of those need to be dropped pretty much immediately in that order: golems, wizards, and then wall breakers. Now, the golem or golems should be deployed in a fashion so that they provide tanking for all the wizards that you put down. And those wizards, again, are creating your funnel. So you want to spread out. If you've got 2 or more golems, you want to spread those golems out, and you want every defense in that area shooting at those golems, so that when you put the wizards down right behind them, the wizards don't get shot at. Now, a little small tip on deploying the wizards. You want to deploy the wizards in a manner that you deploy your first wizard on the outside. Your second wizard should go on the opposite side, on the outside, and you work your way in. That way, the structures on the outside of your funnel get destroyed first, and then your wizards work towards the middle, targeting each structure towards the middle, and then eventually they will go in with the kill squad. You also want to deploy only 1 wizard per structure, no more. Do not spam your wizards. If you spam them, that's only going to cause you problems. So, 1 wizard per structure. If it's a storage, you might want to deploy 2 wizards on that storage, because it does have a high amount of hit points. But the reason you don't want to spam wizards is because if you do, they will destroy all those structures too quickly, and they will move forward too quickly before your golem has a chance to progress forward, and your wizards will start to get targeted by defenses instead of your golem. They can also group up and get hit by 1 mortar. You don't want that to happen. So, when deploying, again, Put down your golem or golems first. One wizard per structure behind that quickly. And then immediately, you want to get those wall breakers down. Get them creating that hole in the walls so that your golem can move forward. Once you've done all this, hopefully your kill squad is moving forward, your funnel is created. Then, once those troops are down, you immediately get down your king to head in with the kill squad. So golems, wizards, wall breakers. Then once that funnel is created, once those structures are done, king goes down immediately to support the kill squad. So, then you may need more wall breakers to continue to get into the core of the base. If you do, get those out. Once your kill squad is in the core of the base doing work, then you want to deploy your hogs. Not before. The question is where do you deploy the hogs, and exactly when do you deploy the hogs? Because if you deploy them too soon or too late, this could lead you to have a failed raid and you only get 2 stars. So the timing that you want to deploy your hogs is when your golems or your king has about 10 to 15 seconds left of health. So when they're nearing death, okay, that's when you want to start to deploy your hogs. Now, how do you want to deploy your hogs? You want to deploy your hogs surgically. What does surgical deployment mean? Surgical deployment means you specifically target a defense. So you would send 4 to 5 hogs to a specific defense. That's surgical deployment. So, how do you select what defense to target? How do you deploy your hogs? Do you just deploy your hogs all over the base, all over the backside of the base, or on the left or the right of your kill squad? How do you do that? You deploy your hogs either on the left or the right hand side of your kill squad. You do this because you want all of your hogs to group up so you can heal them together. So you pick out the defense on the right or the left hand side of your kill squad, and you deploy 4 to 5 hogs to that defense surgically. You immediately then pick the next defense beside that one. Okay, you should already have this in your head and the scout, really, so you should be ready to go. Then you surgically deploy to the next defense beside that. Again, 4 to 5 hogs to that defense. Then the next defense over, 4 to 5 hogs to that defense. Okay, keep doing this until all of your hogs are out. Just to be clear on the hog deployment, you deploy them either to the right or the left hand side, not both. If you're deploying them on different sides of the kill squad, you failed already, because your hogs aren't going to group up together. They're not going to path together. You're not going to be able to heal them together. How do you heal these hogs? So in your scout, you should know about where your kill squad's going to go and about where you should be able to deploy your first set of hogs. So you should be able to determine about where you need to heal your group of hogs. Your 3 heals that you're going to take should pretty much be predetermined where you're going to put those heals down. Typically, you want to let your hogs go for the first 2 to 3 defenses, because typically your kill squad's going to be tanking those defenses. They're going to be easy kills for your hogs. So let them go a little bit, plus, you know, they're full health when they first get going. So then you want to put down that first heal just after those first set of defenses that you're taking out. And you also want your heals to be in a high DPS area. So wherever there's a lot of defenses, if there's, a group of, 3, 4, 5 defenses, you obviously are going to need a heal there. So make sure your heal is touching all of those defenses. You also want to keep an eye out when you're scouting for wizard towers on your hogs, because you don't want a single wizard tower doing damage to every single one of your hogs. You want to make sure that you've got a heal spot covering that wizard tower or touching the edge of that wizard tower, so that when your hogs path to it, they get healed up and they don't all get damaged by one single defense. So as your hogs progress through the back end of the base, you put down your 3 heals, and then as this is happening, once you get good at it, you should have 2 cleanup troops left over. Cleanup troops are either 2 wizards or 2 hogs. You save those, you keep them in your bags, and you do not deploy those for cleanup. And let's say your hogs are going to end up on the north side of the base. You want to deploy those cleanup troops, those 2 hogs or those 2 wizards, on the south end of the base. So you want to deploy those troops on the opposite side that the hogs are going to end up on. That way it'll save you a little bit of time, and your hogs won't need to go all the way back across the map to finish cleaning up structures. That's what those 2 extra cleanup troops are for. Hopefully, if you've done all of this, you can get 3 stars. So just to quickly kind of recap what you want to do: scout the base, figure out how many golems you need to get into the core of the base, figure out how many wizards you need to create your funnel, then you figure out how many wall breakers you need to break through walls to get into the core of the base. Then you use your leftover troop space to fill that with hogs. So you don't figure out how many hogs I want first. You figure out how many golems you need, then you figure out how many wizards you need, how many wall breakers you need, then you fill the rest with hogs. Then you deploy them: golems first, wizards second, wall breakers right after that. Once your funnel's created, drop your king down. Your king should path into the core of the base with the kill squad. About 10 to 15 seconds before that kill squad dies, start deploying those hogs surgically to the first defense, to the second defense, and so on, until they all group up. Then you heal every single one of your hogs with first heal spell, second, and the third. Then you deploy your cleanup troops on the opposite side of where your hogs are going to end up at the end of the raid. And if you've done all this, you are most likely going to get a 3-star attack.